and we get away with murder. And we know it, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. We get away with just about anything. By the time we come along, they just let us drive whatever we want. They let us come home whenever we want. We smile, and they just hand us money. Being the youngest is mostly a really good thing. However, in my case, my sister was 6 years older than me. So she got to be on the throne for 6 glorious years. And then I showed up. And her world, in some ways, never returned to that position. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories very quickly about the relationship I have with my sister. And I will tell you this, that we reconciled at my grandfather's funeral 15 years ago. So we had a pretty good relationship now. But throughout all of childhood, it was rough. Because she was dethroned after 6 years. Along comes a baby brother, and I was born really sick. My lungs were all jacked up. So not only do I show up in the baby, but I'm a sick baby. And I got all that attention, right? So, like a lot of older siblings, she, tortured me a little bit. When I was 3 or 4, I swallowed an orange seed one day. Like kids do. I swallowed an orange seed and I was fearful, and so I said to Mom and Dad, I swallowed an orange seed, what's going to happen? No, sweetie, it's fine, it happens, don't worry about it. My sister pulls me off over to the side and goes, you are going to have a tree growing out of your ears. She goes, come here. But I can remember this like this. She goes, come here. She goes, hold on. She turns to my head. She goes, oh, there it is. She goes, it's all ready. She goes, right there. She goes, do you feel it? She's like touching my ear. I'm like, I feel it. There's an orange tree in my ear. One time she walked up to me and gave me a piece of candy. I popped it in my mouth and immediately got sick because it was a beef bouillon cube, not candy. She used to sprinkle cloves into my cereal and tell me it was special berries. I'd bite into it. She would laugh. Right? Some of you guys know what I'm talking about because either you were the youngest or you did some of this stuff. Right? Some of you tortured your little brothers and sisters. So it got a little nastier as we got older. One time when I was 13, she let my dog out just to see it run away and watch me cry.
Oh.
You feel sad for me now, don't you? The worst of it, though, was when at around 8 for me and 14 for her, my mom and dad let her babysit. Yeah, right? So as soon as they would leave, she would play a little game with me called Choose a Finger. And here's how Choose a Finger worked between me and my sister. She would say, as soon as they left, she would say, you can either go to bed now or at 5. Choose a finger. Like, I'm not going to bed at 5. She goes, yes, you are going to bed at 5. I said, no, I'm not going to bed at 5. She said, I will make you go to bed at 5. I said, I will tell on you. And she said to me, who do you think they'll believe? And I realized how screwed I was. So she would hold out 2 hands and she would say, choose a finger. You want to go to bed now or you want to go to bed at 5? I guess I'll go to bed at 5. So I'd go to bed at 5, 5:30, whatever it was. And it would be totally light outside, right? There's still a lot of sunlight coming in through the window, and I would be in bed yelling, this is not fair. And I would write songs called I Hate Robin. And I would, that showed her. I would sing them loudly and plot my revenge, which never happened. I never got revenge. Right? There was this enduring rift between me and my older sister, literally until my grandfather died 15 years ago. And we pulled over in the car on the way from the funeral back to a hotel. We pulled over the car and she said, I am so sorry for all that stuff I did to you. I don't know why I was so mean. And I said, I don't know why you were so mean either. But I forgive you. But I did learn the choose a finger trick. And it helped a lot. Because I have 2 kids. One of them, I don't want to say which one, my daughter. One of them is super compliant and a total pleaser and will do whatever you tell her to do. She's a really sweet, neurotic worrier and pleaser. So parenting her was pretty easy, except for that brief period when the baby showed up and she wanted to give him to the waiting the next door. But anyway, Kelsey was really easy. Cole, who just graduated a few weeks ago from Hope, some of you know, was not an easy child. He was, what's a good word? Stubborn. Really stubborn. I mean, set his jaw, I'm not going to do it. As a little guy, right? When he was 3, one day he was hippity-hopping down the hall, and he saw what we were going to have for dinner. It was chili. My wife, Leslie, who's here, made chili. It smelled great. He saw that it was chili. He went hopping by, and he goes, "No thanks, none of that for me." So, that's not really an option for you. I don't know why you think that's an option, that you're not going to have dinner. So early on, we started playing Choose a Finger with Cole. So we rigged the game, though. So it was either, do you want to have all the chili or half the chili? Choose a finger. Do you want to go to bed now or in 5 minutes? Choose a finger. Do you want to clean your room now or in 10 minutes? Choose a finger. Always 2 good options for us. But it helped him to have a sense of control, right? It helped him to think, I guess I'm a big man, I can choose. 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 21-year-old, whatever. Because it was a genius game, right? It worked. It helped him realize he had a choice. The last few years, I have been totally enamored with this account. Go ahead and flip it forward for me. With this account of Garden of Eden. So there's 2 screens. I know it's a lot of text, but you know the story. Going through the phases and days of creation, and then we get to the creation of man and woman and his instructions to them. Then the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and keep it. And the Lord commanded the man, saying, "From any tree in the garden you may eat freely, but from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day you eat from it you will surely die." It's a simple instruction. You can do whatever you want, but stay away from that one place. Right? It'd be like saying, this is our space. You can do whatever you want, but don't play the drums. Do anything. Play the guitar, run around, jump up and down on the seats, but just don't play the drums. Now, if those were my instructions, you know what I would do? I'd walk over, sit down there, and start thumping the drums. Because I'm kind of a knucklehead. That's exactly what happened in the garden. Go ahead and advance it. So Adam and Eve hear the instructions, and then this simple, amazing little interchange happens between the serpent and Eve. And get how sophisticated this is, I say tongue-in-cheek. Right? This is not sophisticated. The serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field the Lord God had made. And he, the serpent, said to the woman, "Indeed, has God said to you, 'Do not eat from the tree'?" The woman said, "Yep, from the fruit of the tree of the garden we may eat, but God told us from the tree in the middle of the garden, God said, 'Don't eat from it or you will die.'" Now listen to Satan's trick, to the deceit, to the simple lie. This is like the most basic lie in the world. God said, "You're going to die." The serpent says, "No, you won't." That's the whole comeback. "You surely will not die." Well, that's not very sophisticated. God said, "Do whatever you want, but don't do this. If you do, you're going to die." They fully understood it. It was a simple instruction. The serpent sneaks up and says, "Whatever God said to you is a lie. Go ahead." God's just afraid that if you eat it, you're going to become just like him. He's kind of afraid of you. You'll be fine. And you know what happened? She easily ate the fruit. Gave it to Adam. He easily ate the fruit. And immediately they felt shame. There was immediate distance between them and God. Right? Immediate. The original game of choose a finger was this. It's super easy and it's very fundamental. God created us and he said, either do it my way and live, or do it your way and die. Choose a